This is MSR Now, the live show covering everything the MSR, NFL, and Madden communities have to offer. Access to all 32 teams and users like you've never seen them before. Hosted by Muck.
What the fuck is that?
And yours truly.
Please kneel the fuck out of this game, coach.
Oh, and the best part? Monday nights are for MSR Now, 8 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/paintrain, and stream highlights the very next day, only on the MSR Network. Where else would you rather be?
MSR and Madden communities lock in. It's Monday night, and it's MSR Now. We're back. That 2-week hiatus has flown by. You know why? Because MSR has finally launched. We are in week 3 now. I mean, time is flying already. We got to catch up, but I am not alone. As always, I've got my co-host, Mr. Muck, with me, and then we got the Sauce Man, co-host of the Non-Experts podcast. Listen to it on Spotify. One of the many voices you'll hear on MSR Showdown. We got A1 in the building. A1, how you living?
What's good, man? Appreciate y'all having me. I'm living good, man, but I'm 0-2 in the MSR, man, so gotta get right.
Muck, not 0-2. How are you doing tonight?
How you doing, Payne? What's going on, A1? Yeah, we're 1-1, so we're a little better off than both of you guys. So
getting A1 on the show, we were just talking about it. It's a no-brainer. A1 brings all that energy for MSR Showdown. We had to get him on, and what better night than the week 1 and 2 recap. MSR 31, all the talking is over. It's game time, baby. Looking down below us, you'll see the scores from both weeks 1 and 2, and that's probably going to be the format for how we have it set up week to week, because it's just throughout a single week. We'll get about 2 game weeks in, maybe 2.5, but we're going to try and sort of get that more fleshed out as we go. But I know you said you're 0-2 to start, A1, but what's been the major adjustments for you coming into this game?
Y'all already know, man. The game is the game, so can't complain about it too much no more, you feel me? So it's just trying to get adjusted, man, really putting in the time. My energy ain't been right for real as far as Madden. Been kind of off it a little bit, so I just got to dial in, tune in to better plays, and get right, for real. That's it. And tune in, 0-2. You know what I mean? It is a bad start, but you got room for improvement. We got 18 weeks now, so we got room for improvement. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing. So, yeah, we're going to get right.
And Muck, how about you? As far as comparing it to last cycle, what do you think have been some of the major adjustments coming into this cycle?
For me, I mean, it's just kind of, I don't know. I'm used to having trash to start off the cycle, right? So the Jets were very very different roster to start with than the Bucks. So it's just like, I can be a lot more aggressive, I would say, probably right off the bat without having to do any trades, and I can do dumb shit and get away with it. Obviously, week 1 I did a few too many plays that were stupid. So it cost me the game ultimately, especially at the end. I had a game-winning drive opportunity, and I got a little full of myself. I felt like I could squeeze a pass in between 3 defenders, and the underneath DB jumped it pretty good. But I would say the biggest adjustment is just the fact that I have a loaded team this time, and it's just different, different playing with somebody good versus dog shit.
I think that's been my major thing as well, is just I'm still expecting certain timings on throws, on user tackles, on defending passes. I'm still muscle memory thinking about Madden 21, and because of the delay, because we waited for the scouting patch, there's so much rust sort of just caked onto that, and I think that's going to be the case with a lot of users throughout our league. I think there's a lot of adjustments to be made for all 32 users. I don't really care who you are, but I think it's going to be different for everybody, and it's going to be interesting to see what the next few weeks look like. Week 1 was fairly entertaining. I was very surprised. There were a lot of close games, regardless of the amount of rust that anybody had. A couple games that sort of jumped out to me: Washington and the Chargers. I caught that on a lunch break while I was at work. Man, back and forth between Rico and King Santi, and there's a lot of talking going on in that chat, which you always love. That's usually what gets me tuned into some of these games, where the guys start chirping each other a little bit, be like, all right, I gotta see what they're talking about.
I was just gonna say that there was a lot of talking, but there's also been a lot of tweeting. I'm stuck on the tweeting. A lot of shit talking all around. Good energy to see. I did not see Rico kicking ass. I saw the game where Rico got his ass kicked.
Right.
Sorry, Rico. That's the one I tuned into that I had time for, and it was a thorough ass whooping. I did see a couple of Seahawks games.
Yeah.
David,
action.
Our boy, the traitor,
moved out of our division.
So after seeing him play a couple of times, I feel like I know now why he left, and it wasn't just because he wanted the Seahawks. It was because he doesn't want to get whooped in content division.
No.
So like,
that's good content.
I'm not mad anymore. It is what it is. Let him do what he needs to do. So I saw him play a few games. He did, he clipped a few plays where he did have some good bombs to Metcalf and things like that. But in general, it just seems like it's going to take some time for him to adjust, which is like, it's not a big deal. Everybody knows that, there's a acclimation period, let's say, for most when you come up here, because the fucking competition is really tough and everybody wants to win every single week. Those are the games that really I focused on. I did see maybe like I would say like 3/4 worth of like Samoan playing with the 49ers. And I knew that, he was just going to kick ass because I also played him in a head-to-head, and he destroyed me like when the game first came out. He's somebody to look out for. I mean, with that team
is
the way
special.
He can build rosters, the way he can dev the QB, he's somebody to look out for. I expect he can hear this later. I expect Simone to get at least one bowl this year. And if he doesn't, then I got to take a trip to Texas and like egg his house or something. I don't know.
I'm going to shout out TJ. TJ handling business. He got the team he wanted. Team fell to him. He's 3-0. We're going to shout him out, Samoan. I know you said that, Muck. I'm looking at the guys that, already have some pedigree in this league. They're taking care of business. A lot of people are taking care of business. Even though the game is broken, we know it now. Can't complain about it anymore. We're in the league. So it is what it is. What I was going to say is, Rico 2-1. I know we shit on him, but he 2-1. So,
and his one loss comes to TJ. So, and TJ is number one in the MSR Now Power Rankings. We released the top 5. We'll get the full 32 later in the show. But if you're gonna lose to anybody, Rico's looked good through the first 2 weeks. That only loss coming to the Chiefs in week 3. So,
yeah, like I said, the top dogs. You already know Champs Division. We kind of thought, maybe Taco. Will be all right, but he matched up against some dogs and 0-2 like me. So he in the dog shit. He in the dog shit with me, right now. So even though he a champ, 0-2 is tough. But you see J-Rod 2-0. I was in my game, during that, the red zone, which was dope, by the way. Shout out to Kyle and TJ and everybody that put that together. But I was in that game and I lost to fellow rival of mine, DJ in GGML. He came over here he's another TJ recruit. Basically, we went back and forth. This is what we usually do in the other league. So it kind of, it was a good game for us. Obviously, I didn't get the dub, so shout out to him. He got the dub in overtime. But I was watching some of those games on Red Zone, and I was like, damn, this is crazy. I mean, people were trying to come to play for Red Zone. So, I mean, David, we wanted to see him do a little bit better. But, again, I struggled. I think I was like 0-5 my first 5 games in here.
Right.
So, you got to just be realistic. This comp is different. So, salute to everybody in the league that's putting out content, doing their thing. Big shout outs to everybody that's holding it down. But those are the couple names off the top of my head that really stood out. You know what I mean? That's holding it down right now.
Going back to like the energy, man, trying to get that energy back up because we had the delay from the scouting patch. And I want to give much respect to Timbo on a project he was undertaking while the delay was happening, where he was pulling quotes from a bunch of different users. He got through over half the league, I feel like, Everybody seemed to be coming into this cycle with a chip on their shoulder. Now that we're here, we're going to have to see how guys sort of maintain those words and like really you're going to need to maintain a certain level of energy. And like I think going back to what A1 said, that competition when you first come into the league is it's palpable. Like I got misled. My first game in the league was against Red. I ended up winning. And then I lost like 4 straight because I was like, man, I'll be like a 10-win team in here after that first dub. And then I was, nope. I didn't realize I was in Hops division and losing those games to Jugs early on. But
3/4 Jugs.
But now, I mean, the way I've approached analyzing our users, it's a fresh slate. This game is different enough to where anything that happened over the past cycle, while it still holds weight, it should be taken with a grain of salt because we're seeing guys perform in the first two and a half weeks now that weren't performing as well last cycle.
Yeah.
Red's in the top 5 power rankings right now. Rico's in the top 5 power rankings right now.
Not for long,
but we're going to have to see. That's what we're here for. It's all part of that speculation. But I do want to move on to our full MSR power rankings here. All 32 teams have been ranked, and I will preface this saying that the power rankings were made by a combination of looking at total offense versus total defense, and that is usually offensive total yards and defensive yards allowed, and I am taking into account the wins as well. So without a further ado, let's move on to the power rankings section. All 32 teams ranked, and you saw the first 5 earlier. Tom squeaked into that top 5, looked really good, but honestly, this top 10 here is really, I think, some users are going to watch out for. So going down the list, we've got TJ and the Chiefs at number 1, then Samoan at number 2, Red and the Steelers at 3, Rico at 4, Tom at 5, Ed at 6, and then we've got Big Easy at number 7, I See Through You at number 8 with that Indianapolis squad, and then we've got J-Rod at 9 and Isaiah at 10, and we're going to kind of break this down chunk by chunk. Now that you guys are kind of getting to see a little bit of what I've been working on today, what do you guys think of a little bit of first impressions from you guys about the power rankings?
I'm going to just say, wow. Yo, like you said, I think it's kind of flipped upside down a little bit on its head as far as people that you didn't expect to see up in the top 10. Shout out to DJ. He's a newcomer, Big Easy. You know, he in the top 10. I mean, and he's winning games. He's doing his thing with the Texans. That's a team that was a dog shit team. Let's keep it a stat. Nobody expected them to be in the top 10 ranking. What I'm going to say about the top 10, I already know about TJ. I said that already. Samoan holding it down. The Steelers with, he got Haskins at the helm right now. And I think he leads the league in passing. I think he's 2-1 right now. That's saying a lot for Red. You know what I mean? It looked like he's in his bag with the passing because that's what he's good at. And right now, for him to be a top 3 user right now is big. It's crazy to see J-Rod at 9. It's crazy that you only see one champ out of the champs division in the top 10.
I was just smiling because as soon as Payne asked for the input, J-Rod put "what the fuck" in chat. I don't know what he's talking about. You're at 9. You should be happy you're at 9.
Can I interrupt for 1 second? Because I knew J-Rod was going to say something about this. So at number 9, like I said, it's a combination of the total offensive yards mixed with defensive, your total yards allowed. I do take your wins into account, so I know you're 2-0. But J-Rod, J-Rugula, you got the 16th best offense right now. You got the 14th best defense when it comes to those stats that I'm looking at. I got to see a little bit more out of that. But you're still in the top 10. I figure, obviously, these teams are going to change in the next 2 weeks. When the champs division starts getting their shit together, then of course, we're going to see some of those guys sort of move up. We're definitely sort of going to be seeing, I think, an influx of talent from users we didn't really expect to.
It's a good list for now. Obviously, it's only been 2 weeks. I would think that, let's say, 3 or 4 of those names are probably by end of the season, end of the cycle, going to be like bottom 4, bottom 5 kind of teams. But We'll see. Maybe they can keep it going. I just see a couple names in there that they are fortunate to be at the spot they're at now, and they might not ever be again.
I kind of took into account people who had forced wins, but the stats are based off of sim wins or losses as well. So that's why we've got Hoff and his Packers team at 24. I think this will be more indicative of the skill set of the users we have in this game in another 2 weeks or another 4 weeks. We'll have to see and reevaluate. We've got the Bengals and DMs at number 11. We've got Muck at 12. We've got Bear and his Raven squad at 13. Lions, Taco, 14. And then we've got Dub at 15. We've got the Saints at 16. Kylo at 17. EMC at 18. The Dolphins and Slip Tom at 19. And DK at 20. Anything jumping out to you, A1, with that next 10?
Yeah, I mean, again, we're not going off of records, so we're going off of everything, right? So that's why this list is, it's going to be upside down come the next time you guys are live, because, 0-2 Lions, man. I'm 0-2 too. You know what I'm saying? I'm dog shit too. We ain't win no games. You can put up as much numbers as you want, but you're 0-2. You're not 14 on this list. Let's keep it a stat. That's just one. That's just one. And I'm not coming for Taco. It's just what it is. You're 0-2. It's crazy when you look at the teams that are right there. Like my man Muck, he's at 12. Got a good squad going, rolling. The Bengals, you know what I mean? That's another team that is surprising to be up there. A lot of these guys have came to play this cycle, and obviously, they're showing it through this power ranking. It's crazy to see DK at 20.
Well, and that's how the power rankings go. It's going to adapt over time. And you mentioned it, and I do want to spend a little bit of time on this team, the Bengals and Tyler, DMs, as some of us know him. I think it's only me at this point that calls him DMs. He's looked good. I think a lot of people would think, just at face value, that he's overachieved with his team so far. But, I mean, he kept it close with J-Rod. I believe that was week 1. But he's 1-1. He picked up that win in week 2. It escapes me who he was playing. But he is sort of, I think, clicking. He seems to be very in sync with his roster at the moment. Him and Burrow, and he seems to get that connection that they share in real life between Burrow and Chase. We've seen a couple highlights from Jamar Chase already. So he knows where his playmakers are. I really want to sort of keep an eye on DMs as the season progresses, and obviously we will with our power rankings. But I'd love to see him sort of keep up this momentum and play a lot of these champs. Have the champs playing close to the chest for once. So good job.
Yeah, he's playing.
Tyler.
He's playing pretty good. It's mostly because of his defense too, though. He's I think top best in yards and pass yards. I think.
Yeah, he's the
he's not one.
Second
he's like 2 or 3, something like that.
Number 2 defense when it comes to total yards allowed, which is good, especially given the offenses that he's played. I see through you with his Colts. Number 1 defense right now in total yards allowed. So that's kind of partially why he's ranked at number 8 so quickly. But even his offense, he's at about around middle of the pack, 18 when it comes to total offensive yards. And I think he's kind of clicking. Also 2-0 at the moment. We're going to have to see how these guys are able to sort of keep that momentum going or see where their drawbacks are. Because once we start seeing the cracks in the armor with some of these teams, I think you'll get a better picture of how their season's going to end up looking. Starting with number 21, we do have Kolb and the Bills. And then we've got Smooth and the Jets, King and his Washington football team at 23. Then we've got Hoff and the Packers at 24. We've got YK, surprising, sitting there at 25. Myself at 26. And then we've got Uncle Coach at 27. The Cowboys and Legion at 28. And then we've got A1, the Sauce Man, at 29. Raiders at 30. And then we've got David at 31. Anything jumping out to you here, A1, aside from yourself?
Yeah, I mean, the Bills team, man, they 0-2. That's something. You see, like, I expected certain teams to be even if their offense might not be going or something like that, but certain teams should be at the top. And it's kind of flipped on its head right now, where you got the Bills, they're on 2, at 21.
Right.
So that means they're middle of the pack. They're moving the ball, but they're not, you know what I'm saying? They're not consistent. They're not scoring or something.
Yeah, YK was definitely one of those teams that surprised me being, I believe, 0-2.
Yeah.
But I think just because of that energy YK brings, obviously it's still so early in the season. There's not really any definitive statements you can say on any team. But I think YK is going to be one of those guys you see jump up throughout the rankings here. And I mean, if him seeing himself at 25 is going to be a motivator for him, I mean, I've got him as one of those playoff contenders year to year. So I'd definitely like to see him move up in that list. But yeah, there's certain guys that I think in the top 10, we'll see a couple guys move out. But I think there's a potential to see a couple guys move up. I think Ed has the potential to go up a little bit, a position or two. Especially, I think he got overshadowed by the fact that Slip was talking so much, and then Slip's had a couple of struggles here early. And Ed has looked pretty good with a new look Patriots team that I, on record, called the most boring team selection pick in the history of MSR. But he's looking good. Mac Jones has been fairly serviceable for him. So I'm curious to see how he operates come the next few weeks.
He was out here handling business. I mean, obviously you could use this as fuel. I know I don't like to be 0-2, so I don't feed into rankings as much. I love did this, you know what I mean? First and foremost, but like I don't feed into it. I kind of know that I have to be better if I want to. If you want to be one of those ones, like I was talking early in the off season, you gotta be, got to put the work in. You know what I'm saying? So, that's kind of what I would say to anybody out there that's like kind of in a struggle or in a rut. Just put the work in, and you maybe find a new playbook, find something, because you got to find a niche in this Madden. So you could, you just expose people and kind of handle business. But other than that, I mean, this, like I said, it's dope. But it's funny that I remember Bear with the Ravens. He was talking a lot of smoke.
Of course.
And he's number 13 on this thing. And I watched this game while I was playing because they kept dropping and they came back and really, realistically. Was it Jugs? Who's the Raiders?
That's Jugs.
Jugs. Listen, man, he had him on the ropes.
He did.
A couple mistakes here and there, and the Ravens. The Ravens. They look shaky. You know what I'm saying? They don't look as dominant as Bear was. He was. Bro, I'm going to play. He was drunk that night or something. He was talking that talk. And I'm going to Super Bowl, all this nonsense.
His streams are fun too, though, because he's so serious. He just looked like he just came out of a room after he killed somebody and just loaded up Madden, bro. He doesn't move, doesn't talk, just straight face playing Madden.
Well, I can speak from personal experience playing Bears so much. There's usually some substances involved, pre-game, during game, after game. So he gets. I think it's a certain level where he's just trying to focus on the game. But that man really, to Bears' credit, wants those reps. If he gets 4 DCs, he's going to want to run it back fresh 4 times, whether he had a 20-point lead or a 20-point deficit.
I'm not trying to do that.
I mean, time permitting, him and I did it. Him and I ran it back fresh a lot, especially during my desync season. And I mean, it did make us better users, I think, for it, just because we're 2 guys that really believe that practicing on the game, and not just in free practice for 2.5 hours, actually being in the game is the only way to get better. And it's one of those things that I think a lot of guys got frustrated with before the league started, because it just wasn't the same, whether you were in the test league or just trying to match up in head-to-head, or just made your own franchise so you could play one other person. It's not the same. When the game's on the line, when there's weight to your wins and losses, that's when you see guys' true colors. That's when you see guys be able to adapt, maybe make some plays that they wouldn't be able to otherwise. And I think we're already seeing that through 2 weeks. I mean, we're getting games that have like late season, both implications and just that kind of energy, which is what I've been most excited watching.
If you really want to have fun with this, you got to figure it out, or you're just gonna have a miserable cycle. You're not gonna want to be here. You might as well just say F it and give your seat to a Genesis guy, because that's what it is. This league, I'm gonna just keep it a stack with you, bro. If you're not competitive on here and you trying to win games and you don't get upset, like people be like, man, you getting upset? You know you grown ass man getting upset about. Listen, y'all don't. I waste an hour if you really want to technically be right. I take an hour of my time to play somebody, and I want to win. What the hell am I taking an hour to play another person? Right. What am I doing? So, listen, my whole thing is, man, just get better. I'm talking to myself right now. I got to just get better. And whoever out there that's 0-2, we just got to get better. Forget what the game is giving you. Just take it for what it is and try to get better at the dog shit, you know?
You're talking to me too, because I'm sitting here, I'm hoping that the 0 win club becomes more exclusive, and I hope my ass ain't in it.
And I just want to not make fucking stupid mistakes, you know? Like every game, there's something that right before you press a button, you're like, ah, shit, I'm not supposed to do this. Like for me, it was, I threw a pick, so I tried to audible to a play. I audible to the wrong play. 2 receivers on the left, right? One's going to the flat, one's a slant. That's not what I wanted.
Right.
But I was like, I don't want to audible again and then get a false start or some bullshit, all right? So I ran the play and I forced the slant, even though I see a guy sitting there. And it's just like, dude, like, why am I doing that? So my goal is just to cut down on mistakes that I know I shouldn't make in the first place. Because my team is stacked, right? Like I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do trades.
Yeah, you don't have to play nothing. Just put the
controller
down.
To
let
pay
the CPU play.
Let the CPU play. Right. Okay, Hop. If I do that and I play well, then there's no reason I shouldn't be first in division. Sorry, Payne.
Hey, I'm 0-2. I can't say shit right now.
Hey, nothing. You got some losers on here, Payne.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. But whole time.
I don't know nothing about that. At least I got 1 win. I don't know if I belong here.
Got a dub. All right, salute to you. But look,
I'm winning like.
Before I get off here, I think anybody in the funk right now, including myself, Payne, bring the energy, bro. Bring the energy. We ain't got time to be bullshitting, bro. If you want to have some fun with this, that's what you gotta do. Bring the energy. Do whatever you gotta do to spark it up. Y'all already know who bring the energy all the time. Man, be one of those people that just bring it. Be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes bring energy in different ways. I'm talking about content from David. I remember when dude I ain't know what is this who's this dude? Out of nowhere, content looking crazy, right? So I'm like, dude, that's what I'm saying. That's the energy, not just being loud, not just being funny. It's not all about that. You got clowns, you got to fit your lane and just be funny or fit your lane and just do what you're doing. You know what I mean? And really have fun with it, because that's the only way you're going to get through a league like this. Because if you losing and you ain't having no fun with the community and you disconnected, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough.
A1, you've said it all, and you're right, though. Like, energy just needs to get ramped up to a different level. There was a certain point in last cycle where we, like, every show, every piece of programming we had, we were talking about how we were hitting peaks. We need to get to that point now and not let that shit stop to the end. If that energy is cranked up to 1,000, nobody's fucking with us. And so, like, we felt that way last cycle. Let's get back to that. All the negativity that we're kind of coming off of with, like, oh, yo, fuck EA, fuck the delay, fuck the scouting patch, wasn't worth the wait, let's just restart, let's run it back, let's nerf this, let's ban this. Fuck all that. We're so past that now because the league's here. The games are here. What we've got in front of us is some of the best league content you're going to find anywhere on any platform from Madden. So we need to keep that energy going. Tune into Showdown tomorrow night, A1 and DK. 2 of the best runners in the league. Like, what a matchup. We got to wait for A1 to activate it, but
I need a dub, man. They put me on live. I'm 0-2. Come on, man.
Pressure.
Y'all
Pressure makes diamonds, right?
Yeah, we got to get a dub. That's it.
Could also crush diamonds. We'll see.
Well, under the brightest lights, we will see.
Yeah.
A1, I appreciate you for joining us. You can catch A1 on the Non-Experts podcast on Spotify. He's always going to walk you in with some banger music, and he's going to outro you with it. These guys talk about sports. They talk about life. They talk about NFL conspiracies. So, you know how it goes. Be sure to catch him on there. But everybody stay tuned because we have got the highlights, the best of weeks 1 and 2. From myself, from the Sauce Man, from Muck, we're signing off. Here's some motherfucking highlights.
Deuces.
Harris to his right. Passing back to throw, looking, checks down to Harris. He's gonna have the first down, and then some as he puts his shoulder down twice and makes people fall on their backs. Great play by Najee Harris. Great opening play for him to get his hands on the ball and put them in the same boat as I. Where like you can kind of see all the knowledge is there, just haven't put it together in the sticks at times. 1st and 10 for Carson Wentz. First offensive play of the season. Wentz the throw has a man open. Paris Campbell. This could be a first play touchdown to start MSR 31, and it is touchdown Indianapolis. He takes it all the way down. He doesn't want to give them any chance to get a drive. They score real quick here. Mod back to throw. Looking wide open the back of the end zone. Adam Thielen, touchdown Minnesota. Very light box here. Let's see if they try to run it. How much do they trust this rookie Najee Harris? They're gonna do it. Hand off. They got misdirection. Wide open into the end zone. Najee Harris, touchdown Pittsburgh. David.
To throw on 2nd and 6. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown Bengals.
Yeah, they were at the 50-yard line now. DJ taking over at the 42 with 30 to go for half.
Oh, we tuned in just in time with the big screen as Deshaun Watson just threw an absolute dime up the middle, over top of everybody to Brandon Cooks.
And he's got his man in stride.